dental exam, I schedule an appointment with my dentist. When I need a haircut, I schedule an appointment with my barber. If I faced unpredictable wait times each visit for that service, it would be exasperating. Offering appointments at high-volume DMVs makes sense, and it modernizes our facilities so that customers have more control over their visit. As of tomorrow, we are here when you need us.
And that's Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias yesterday announcing a new initiative that starts today where you have to have an appointment for going to the DMV. And what exactly is the DMV? Well, previous Secretary of State's administration under Jesse White always pushed back when people called it a DMV because people typically in other states, they have the Department of Motor Vehicles. Well, DMV in Illinois does not stand for Department of Motor Vehicles. DMV stands for Drivers and Motor Vehicle Services, so DMV. But now you've got to ensure that you're not waiting in line forever, because everybody has that trope in their head, right? You go and wait into the DMV, and it's like purgatory and reminiscent of Beetlejuice when he goes to talk with his counselor and he pulls the ticket, and it's just going and going and going, and he's like number 5,753 out of, whatever, and then they call up number 5. And he's like, But what exactly is happening here? With more detail, let's go ahead and hear what the Secretary of State has to say, and then also hear some of the questions and the answers that he provided. So take it away, Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias from yesterday, a news conference up in Chicago.
Tomorrow we begin our effort to cut the time tax that Illinoisans have been paying for far too long. In the past, when a customer had to visit a DMV, it was impossible to know how long they would be stuck waiting in line. They would need to consider if they should take time off work, get a babysitter, or even how much coffee would be required to stay awake during their wait. That's a tax on our most valuable commodity, time. And Illinoisans shouldn't be forced to waste valuable time waiting for a required service. If you are required to visit a DMV starting tomorrow, September 1st, all Chicago and suburban DMVs will now require an appointment. Again, if you must visit a DMV for drivers and ID-related services, walk-ins will no longer be permitted. You have to make an appointment. We want people to know how simple it is to schedule an appointment for DMV services that fit their schedules. It's critical for all Illinoisans to know that this program is designed to better serve you. Making an appointment at the DMV is easy. You don't have to be technologically savvy to navigate our website, and if you'd prefer calling to make an appointment, that option is available. Just call 844-817-4649 and a customer service agent, a live customer service agent, will assist you from 7 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday.
So the Secretary of State also announced that these facilities are going to be open longer. So a lot of times you might go to the DMV and you find that, they're closed on Mondays. Rats. Well, they're going to be open on Mondays now. They're also going to be sending out notices of your driver's license expiring no longer just 90 days out. They're going to send it at 90 days out, then they're going to send it at 60 days out, and then they're going to send it at 30 days out. So you're going to get 3 opportunities there to be reminded. But some other questions about walk-ins. That was driving a lot of the Q&A during yesterday's news conference with the Secretary.
So, look, it's a customer service business. We're going to do everything we can to accommodate people. If someone shows up, we have tablets there. We will try and get them an appointment at that time. If there's one available, we'll try and get them one that day. We will accommodate people as much as we possibly can. But we've been screaming from the rooftops on about September 1. And the challenge we've had in the past is we try to straddle and do both, take walk-ins and appointments, and it was the worst of both worlds. We had people who were waiting, people who made appointments who ended up waiting for their appointment time. It put way too much strain on our folks, so it's simply undoable. So starting tomorrow,
Today.
We will be requiring folks to make an appointment.
But sometimes it's an emergency, and that emergency can pop off at really any time. Is that allowed to have a walk-in? If you say all of a sudden an emergency trip pops up and you got to get a new driver's license or something like that?
Walk-in, is it? Yes, great question. Thank you, Craig. So there are folks who have an emergency situation who are leaving town who need to get a license done that way. Our downtown Chicago Loop facility is the only one that will remain walk-in only. So if you need to, or if you just really don't want to do an appointment, or you really want to see someone's face, or if you really enjoy waiting in line, we encourage you to visit our Chicago Loop location. Yes, I forgot to mention that.
So the Chicago Loop location is going to be open, but it's not good for people down in Cairo necessarily. What about veterans? That was a policy before. Veterans were allowed to have walk-ins.
Again, if people want to walk in, they can come to the Loop. The challenge is when you open it up to one group, it becomes it's the problem I described earlier, where some people are walk-in, some are appointment only. So starting tomorrow, it will be appointment only if you have to come in. I want to reiterate, most people do not have to come in. You should be able to go, 12 to 15 years without having to step foot in the facility, assuming that you're a safe driver.
So the secretary answering one last question here. He took a series of questions, but he's talked about digital driver's licenses. And where are we at in that process? Well, this is all part of it.
So, this goes back to modernization. Everything that we will be doing is focused on modernization and bringing new technology in. This is the most important piece of this, getting Skip the Line moving. We will eventually get to digital driver's license, digital IDs, but there's a lot of infrastructure that we need to get done first. So focusing on this, shoring up our cybersecurity is going to be important, the creation of an app. And so it's difficult for me to give you a timeline of when it's going to happen. I will tell you unequivocally, it will happen. And the goal is to get it done before the end of this term.
But the idea of digital driver's licenses, something that might cause civil libertarians a little bit of unease. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of unease. So, starting today, if you need to get to the DMV, you got to make an appointment. All right, so make that happen. Just search Illinois Secretary of State's office, and you'll be able to make that happen. All right, Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on WMAY. Find me anywhere, Bishop on Air. X, Facebook, YouTube, just search Bishop on Air.